I'd like to talk to you about dealing with cravings. Now, this is something we've already touched on in the emotional eating video, as well as a few posts that you will have seen on our Facebook page. However, it's something that really impacts our health and our ability to stick to healthy habits. So I wanted to delve into it just a little bit more. So what are cravings? A craving is a strong yearning for a specific food or drink. It's normally something that's high in fat or sugar or alcohol, and it could be texture related rather than taste. So you might want something that tastes really rich. It's got like a smooth texture in your mouth, which is generally something that's quite high in fat. You'll have seen this slide in a previous video on the emotional eating, and it just tells us the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. So we can recognize when something is a craving and when we're actually physically hungry. So physical hunger tends to be gradual, whereas emotional hunger is sudden and urgent. Physical hunger can be satisfied with any number of foods, whereas emotional hunger, cravings tend to be very specific. So sugar, caffeine, alcohol, fat. Physical hunger, once you're full, you tend to stop eating, whereas with emotional hunger, you tend to overeat, sometimes binging. And physical hunger don't cause feelings of guilt afterwards, whereas with emotional hunger, you kind of go, oh, I really shouldn't have had that, and you do feel guilty. So things that trigger cravings, external triggers like marketing. You know, if you're watching telly and an advert comes on for takeaways or some crisps or chocolates and things, those can trigger cravings. Proximity, so the sight and smell of something. For example, walking past a bakery that smells delicious, or if you're baking with your kids. And also something that you might not recognize, but it is actually a trigger, is sound. So you might associate certain sounds with having something nice to eat. The other thing is lack of sleep. So what's important here is we're not controlled by calories, we're controlled by our hormones. So lack of sleep plays a really important role in cravings, because when we don't sleep, we don't release enough leptin. And leptin is a hormone that tells us when we're full. So often what you'll find, and you may recognize this now that I say it, is if you've had a bad night's sleep, the next day you wake up and you just really want to eat badly. You know, you just want sweet stuff all the time, or you want to have loads of coffee, and you just don't feel satisfied and full, and you're grumpy, and all of that is the hormones that are out of balance because of your lack of sleep. And that's why sleep is so important on the Happy Mamas program. And then the final thing is biological triggers, things like blood sugar. So, peaks and troughs in your blood sugar levels. So not eating the right foods throughout the day, and therefore keeping your blood sugar levels consistent and in that fat burning zone. So if you're eating the wrong foods, you're going to have these peaks and troughs, which are going to make you want more bad things. Exhaustion, again, lack of sleep. Nutritional deficiency, so I'll come on to that in a minute. Dehydration, often we crave bad things when we're dehydrated, so a simple glass of water can really help. And the last one is simple carb overload. So that's, if you're eating loads of white bread or chocolates, it just makes you want to have even more. So the more you have, the more you want. So there is a solution, and it's about eating regularly, which keeps our metabolism and our blood sugar levels balanced. It's eating nutritious food and staying hydrated, so making sure you're having your 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Exercising, because it releases the endorphins, and that improves your mood, and that distracts you from cravings. And also making sure that you relieve your stress, which is going to remove your emotional triggers. Other ways which will help you get over cravings, compromise your cravings and find a healthy alternative. So if you really fancy a chocolate, why not make up some bliss balls and have one of those instead? Take vitamin and mineral supplements that I'll show you in a second, the ones that help to curb those cravings. Distract yourself, so go for a walk, do a bit of exercise, read a book, get out and about. Don't go food shopping hungry. I think we all know that one, but sometimes it's easier said than done. Don't keep unhealthy food around the house. Definitely don't skip breakfast or any snacks or any of the other meals that are on the Happy Mums program. And write out some motivational tips for yourself. So when you're feeling like you're going to cave, just have a look at the reasons why you're doing the program and why you are creating this healthy lifestyle for yourself. So we did speak about nutrients and being able to curb cravings through taking the right nutrients, because the deficiency will often make us crave the wrong things. So I did put up a post about this on our Facebook page already, but just to reiterate, so taking vitamin B complex will help curb your want and need or craving for more carbohydrates, because it helps you metabolize your carbohydrates. Omega-3 fish oil, so a high quality fish oil will help with your appetite and carbohydrate cravings, because it enhances our insulin sensitivity, which helps regulate our blood sugar levels. Chromium has shown to not only cause cravings for sugar and starches, but also contributes to more poor muscle tone, which makes weight loss even more difficult. And lastly, magnesium. So chocolate and sugar cravings in particular are curbed by magnesium supplementation. So if at this stage you've been on the program for a while now and you're still finding you're craving certain things, please look at your mineral intake and try to supplement, which will really help you get over those cravings. Some motivational tips. This really works for me. It's if I really want something, I don't tell myself I can't have it, because that generally makes me want it even more. But what I tell myself is I'm choosing not to have it right now. So what I might say is, well, I'm not going to have it right now, but I'll see how I feel in a couple of hours, or I'll see how I feel tomorrow. And because I'm not restricting myself from having it for a long period of time, generally I don't really want it by the time that the time rolls round again, or I've totally forgotten about it and moved on. If you're feeling really motivated, you can do a short HIIT session, so one of the 6-minute blasts I've given you as part of the program, and that will distract you, get your endorphins flowing, and remind you and reinforce you about your goals. Sip on a glass of iced water and wait 10 minutes. So again, cravings can often be a sign of dehydration, so make sure you are hydrated before you give in to them. If you're financially incentivized, you might want to think about writing down healthy food choices, which are actually cheaper than unhealthy ones. So that might give you an incentive not to give in to your cravings, and get support. So in your moments of weakness, call somebody up who knows you're trying really hard to be healthy and create healthy habits, and get them to talk to you and tell them how you're feeling. Get a training partner, speak to your family, and often talking about our things will help us not give it. And finally, you can make the craving that you want your reward for not giving in. So if you really want that slice of cake and you've wanted it for 3 days and it's not going away, rather than giving in, just say, okay, well, I'm going to have that slice of cake once I've reached X goal. So, I don't know, I want to lose 5 inches, or I want to fit into that pair of jeans, or I really just want to eat really healthily for 3 weeks and not give in at all. And once that's over, then I can reward myself with that piece of cake that I really want. And if you do happen to cheat, don't beat yourself up about it. No one's perfect, and if everyone was perfect, life would be boring and everyone would be super healthy and fit. So you will come across times where you are going to give in to your cravings, and that's okay, as long as it doesn't become a habit and it doesn't become a binge. Just get back onto your healthy eating lifestyle as soon as possible afterwards, and regain your focus, and tell yourself that you're now going to stick to your goals. And finally, just to finish off this presentation with a motivational quote: stop saying I wish and start saying I will, because you've already been doing all of this on the Happy Mums program. You're doing phenomenally well. You can absolutely do it. You've got it. So have a great day.